All right, looks like we're live. What up? What up? What up? How y'all guys doing tonight? You know what I mean? Welcome. Thanks for pulling up to the stream. That's a good. Who you think going to get drafted? Make it Vinny. What's good, y'all? How y'all doing today? I'm just double checking some levels real quick before we go ahead and get the show started. But all right, it's looking good. What's good, John? Thanks for pulling up. Rage, what's good, man? How y'all doing? Brody Warriors in 4. I feel you, Brody. I feel you. Let me know. Has everything sound all right? I was just trying to we got a new mic, switched over to the Elgato Wave 3. I've been messing around with Wavelength all day, so I'm just trying to make sure everything's running fine, but y'all ain't saying nothing in a bad way, so I'm assuming it's all right. We got a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about in terms of NBA. We're finally in the conference finals. Finally in the conference finals. Jimmy Butler better than Rosen. I don't think that's crazy. I don't think most people would. I don't think that's crazy. I don't think most people would disagree with it. I think you could say DeRozan probably had a better season than DeMar, just because DeRozan might have had a better season than Butler, because Butler can take some nights off sometimes, and Butler also got injured. But player for player, I'm not mad at saying Jimmy's a better player. A lot to talk about though. A lot of notes. Actually, not a ton of notes, but a lot of things I want to get off my chest and talk about. Jason, hold on. Let me get the phone lines open. Oh, we're in for a good show. We're in for a good show. Hold on. Jason said he was going to pull up, but I didn't know he was going to pull up this fast. All right. Jason, I actually don't have the overlay like I used to that tells you what the phone line number is. Oh, it's people like, all right, bet. Do I have that still? So yeah, I'm gonna type in what the phone. The phone lines are open. I'm gonna type in what the line number is in the chat. It's 609-365-0382. Once again, that's 609-365-0382. I got some notes, but if Jason's trying to call in, I'll make an exception. John, if you want to call in still, go ahead. I'll make an exception, you know what I mean? We can get that going first. I'll get to my notes. I'll get to my notes later. If I need to, I'll make a video with my notes later, you know what I mean? Because as we know, Jason's a big Nets fan, and his Nets kind of went out sad. So I'm curious to see what he got to say about it. That's him right there. Jason, my man.
What's going on? What's going on?
How you
How's
doing?
everybody doing tonight?
How you doing, man?
Lot to talk about. But before we get to this, I must publicly apologize. It's been so haven't had a chance to join and talk about sports. But let's do this right. Let's take this right. Let's take the beating right. First of all, I know it's been some weeks. I wasn't dodging or ducking. Let's make this clear.
They was
The
asking
Brooklyn
about
Nets.
you. They was asking about you.
Yeah, the Brooklyn Nets suck. We're going to get straight to it. They sucked. My boy got swept. I'm going to take the heat. I'm going to take the smoke. I told Hawk to take it because Philly was going to lose, and right on schedule they did. But we're not going to discuss that right quick. I'm going to just take the heat. The Nets did, man. Gave too much.
Listen, I got a real question for you, right? Since you're talking about your Nets. If y'all had Ben Simmons, you think that goes different? I'm just curious.
In all honesty, I really don't, because I think that, in my opinion, is not. I don't think he would have really made that much of a difference. And that's, it goes down to a lot of things, man. The coaching wasn't good.
Facts.
Good defense. They did not have a lot of support. And the thing about it is that, if we're going to look at it from a basketball purist standpoint, KD has to understand, I mean, you can have two superstars, but you got to have, some good role players.
That's it.
Role players. And the reality behind it is, basketball is a team sport. You can't just have people coming in doing what they want when they want. And what we're starting to see is the Kyrie effect on the teams that he's leaving. So, do I think Ben would
Sheesh.
have made a difference? I think we probably, and Chuck says it all the time, and I think that's, probably where some of my controversy comes looking at guys like him. Um, I really feel, baby, you said it's not easy to coach superstars. I'm sorry, I'm looking at your chats while you're saying it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Honestly, man, I hear you, man, but I just really feel you gotta know how to manage stuff, and people have to know their roles.
You gotta know how to
And that's
manage the
why I
egos.
told
Yeah.
you when it comes down to, and I don't care who likes it or who doesn't like it. When it comes down to the GOAT conversation for me, that's why I loved Michael. Michael was Michael, and everybody played their position. Scotty, you're the number two. Rodman, you grab rebounds, or Horace Grant, whoever.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things you have to do. In my Nets team, KD, I got it. I'm going to have it for 5 minutes. Kyrie, you want it, or you don't want it, I'm going to take it. And it's really hard to really get into a rhythm like that. You
There
saw in
wasn't a
Golden
pecking
State,
order. Yeah.
everybody deferred to him. Like, dog, you number one. Draymond was Draymond. Like, I'm going to pass you the ball. I'm going to do what you got to do. And it really was a good fit. If he could have checked his ego, I mean, you talking about this guy probably could have had about 6 rings by now.
Oh yeah, they were just
So,
rattled on low.
yeah, so I don't know. I'm not gonna say that, I'm not gonna be like everybody and throw everything on Ben. But like me and you talked about before, I'm gonna try to hit a bunch of topics. And I know you got a lot for the show. But like me and you had talked about before, Ben Simmons, guys like Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving are gonna make it really hard for this next generation coming up in the league. Where LeBron is the goal of player empowerment. Now you got guys that don't want to show up with, they don't want to play games.
Yeah.
They don't want to pay above, 65 games a year. And, you can blame that on San Antonio and Pop all you want to. But at least, I don't think the Spurs cheated the game. And now, crap like this is cheating the game. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole COVID talk because I kind of do agree with him. It is what it is. Wow, Baby Ray, Jimmy Butler's Michael Jordan's son? Oh, my goodness. Stop the madness. Stop the madness. Anyway, so, yeah, I just had to take my punishment for the Nets. The Nets was trash. They were terrible. However, let's talk about the Philadelphia 76ers. Whoa!
Listen,
James
man.
Harden, it looks like finally the strip clubs done caught up to him. Ah, man, how you feeling about that?
I said it before and I say it again, right? Was I excited and happy when we got James Harden? Of course, yes. I'm going to be happy when we get, a player of that caliber, whatever, yada yada, right? But what I tell you, I feel like I was hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, lied to. I wasn't expecting 2018 James Harden, but I was also not expecting just to get absolutely no effort at all when he doesn't have the ball in his head. I was not expecting that either. Like, and all the Nets fans, I mean, you was telling me other Nets fans was like, hey, we've been watching him. He gonna let y'all down. I didn't think he was gonna let us down like that.
Rule change really hurt him, man. Yeah, that really hurt him, man. That really hurt that dude.
The thing, he's not fast anymore. He can't beat nobody off the dribble like he used to. Even the step back, there's no separation on it. It's like a tippy toe back. It's not really like a full step back. All his moves look slower than they used to. And yeah,
you what you calling it? You maxing him? You maxing him?
If I'm the Sixers, do I max James Harden? No. And it's not, and the reason I wouldn't max him is because the max, like say next year, right? Say he gets healthy. You max him and it's like, oh, all right, he looks great. But after that, like a max, if we max him, it's gonna be what, like 5 years probably. The last 3 years of that 5-year deal are going to be absolutely abysmal. And that's if the first two aren't too.
You see,
like
3? I'm gonna say the first 2 is terrible.
But that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't think he's worth it. Like his playmaking is elite. Don't get me wrong. That's why that's the only silver lining. Like he does help other players get open. Like he does set up Joel Embiid nicely. He sets up Maxey nicely. He sets up our shooters nicely. But you can get another playmaker, maybe not to his level. You might not get that elite playmaker, but we can just go get another playmaker.
You get the guy from Indiana, the one
That's
that Sacramento changed for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
you don't need that. I need you to be a number. I need you to come in and give me 20.
yeah,
20 in the
no,
regular season. I need 20. I need 25 to 26 in the playoffs.
on max money, I need 25 in the regular season. I need like 29 in the playoffs. I need
So you got to be realistic. I mean, the realism behind
I need 22
it
at least then. Because if you
got to get the maxis, you got to get everybody involved.
You're right.
I mean,
you're right. However,
look at what we saw last night with Miami. You know what I'm saying? Now, quiet as kept. I'm freaking sick and tired of how the league is taking this light-skinned brother and trying to put him over Jaylen Brown. I'm not saying that he ain't good, but they the same damn freaking players, and they make it seem like if Jason Tatum is the savior of Boston, and there's a dark-skinned brother on the same daggone team doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna digress for a minute. I was like, I'm really impressed because of what the coach said. I can't say his name, but how the coach has coached defense and how he's gotten them guys, to buy into the system. And that's the thing. You got to have buy-in. I don't need you to score. It's kind of like what they said. Jimmy, there's a regular season Jimmy that looks like poo-poo. Like he's just, he coasts through. And this postseason guy, I guess he must have figured it out in Chicago. Like, why am I wasting my stuff? Let me come out with a team that he can. So, I think you just need to check those things in. And I think with that being said, everybody is not a coach, okay? Steve Kerr, we're dealing with an asshole like Michael Jordan, is an amazing coach, and learning from Phil, he knows how to manage egos.
Yep.
And one of the things I would say is when it comes down to what's the guy's name? When it comes down to Steve Nash, they never respected him. He didn't know how to manage egos. And, that's the Nets' fault. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say this. I don't care who likes it. Doc Rivers, nice guy, overrated.
Oh, I agree with you. I don't think there's anybody who would disagree with you. The only person who disagree with you is his kids, his family. That's it. His friends and family is the only people. Everybody else thinks he's overrated.
I'm not an NBA coach. I haven't been in the trenches. But at some point, there has to be accountability on the coach. At some point, you got to be able to bring something. He takes nothing.
None.
I can honestly say, I've heard Shannon Sharp talk about Luka Doncic for a long time. And quite frankly, like I told somebody the other day, he reminds me of a little bit of Paul Pierce and Dirk Nowitzki put together.
Okay.
Like, the guy's game to me is just ugly as hell. The best part about his game is his trash talk. But you can't deny the guy. Like, nobody can stop this slow bastard, yo. Yeah. I don't understand it. Like, I don't know if it's because they're not big enough. It's just like watching the truth was painful, yo. I don't even know why they called him the truth.
Because Paul Pierce's game was slow and ugly, but he would give you a bucket whenever he wanted. That's a good comparison.
So I look at him and I'm like, oh my goodness. But yeah, I think our team's basically, I don't know what it is. I think Brooklyn is going to miss that window. LeBron is losing the player empowerment stuff in LA. So I don't know what you do. They don't really have anything. And you just got to look at how free agency is going to be managed. I don't know. So I don't see the Nets really making a move. The Bucks. Like I said, guys, I'm sorry. I'm taking up a couple more minutes of this segment.
That's all right. You've been out for a while. That's all right.
The Bucks. Giannis is great, but like I told everybody, man, Chris Middleton is what made that team go. So everybody want to talk about him.
You call him Middleton Robin and Giannis Batman. I mean, vice versa. Middleton Batman, Giannis Robin.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Michael was the GOAT. Without Scottie Pippen, we don't got 6. Okay.
All right. If you saying it that way, I will agree with you. All right. If you putting it that way, I can't disagree with you then. If you putting it that way,
I will say this.
I'm okay with that.
If you have Michael and Tracy McGrady, would he have gotten a couple of championships? Quite possibly, depending on what year you switched them out. Michael and Detlef Schrempf because I'm looking at the guys in that time.
Yeah.
Would Michael have gotten a ring with Detlef? Yes.
Probably.
I mean, the point is you got to play your role.
Yeah.
Chris Middleton was that guy. Like Giannis showed you, he couldn't take it on his own. I mean, you know, fact being, Michael dropped 63 in the Boston Garden. They still lost. You know, Kareem was putting up hella numbers in LA.
Well, you had me.
But it wasn't until that big guard came in with that smile and brought some showtime, and you had Coop and Worthy and all them boys. You know, you didn't see it. So I just, that's his guy. You know, they're gonna always be forever linked. And I think, you know, them losing the championship is what really ended up helping to show Giannis, like, Drew Holiday did his thing, but even with Drew, he gonna take that punishment. If you had Chris, he probably wouldn't have taken so much punishment.
Yeah. And Drew's a little inconsistent offensively, in my opinion, though. But I see what you're saying.
I think it's consistency, because, I mean, you looked at him when he was on the Pelicans. He was consistent. You got to remember, it's, you know, and forgive me, guys, I was watching The Last Dance the other night, and Steve Kerr said, listen, man, he knew he had 5 touches a game on that Bulls team, so he had to make all 5 touches count.
Yeah.
So if I'm Giannis and I'm getting 30 touches, I'm Chris Middleton, I'm getting 25 touches, and now I'm Drew, you giving me anywhere from 10 to 15 touches. Now we get into the playoffs and Chris is gone.
I'm getting 20 to 25 touches.
You expecting me to have 20 to 25 touches? Like, I'm not conditioned for that. Yeah. And then I'm playing both sides of the court. I'm playing defense. I'm playing offense. I mean, them guys were abused. They were done. So, you know, I think the window. I think Giannis can probably continue through, because I don't really know if. I mean, I don't want to disrespect Miami, but I mean, if we look at the top tier, you know, we got to put the Nets, we got to put Philly in there, you got to put Milwaukee. Realistically, will they have enough when it comes to the end of a season to really push through? And you know, they don't have Chris Middleton. The Bucks. Yeah. They don't have Chris Middleton. It goes to show you that, yeah, you might get to the second round, brother, but I mean, the only one that don't really got a true number 2 in this playoff is that man in Dallas. He don't got no true number 2. One day it could be Dinwiddie. The next day it could be I forgot the other guy. Yeah, I mean, he really is just the only guy.
Yeah.
Where most people have at least a 1-2
another all-star. At least, I mean, if not a all-NBA
Golden State got like all-star. 4. Yeah.
The only team I would say is like that a little bit is Miami with Jimmy Butler. Like, it could be Tyler Hero one night. It could be Bam one night. I think those guys are a little more consistent than Spencer and Brunson. But to me, at least, well, Bam is like all-star caliber, but he ain't been looking great to me, at least. That's one of the things I wasn't got my notes, but at least in these playoffs, I don't feel like Jimmy has a solid number 2.
I don't know if Jimmy. I mean, so I agree with you with them. I think they are like the Patriots, right? Their system. They are a system.
The sum of the
people
parts.
Got to give Spolster. Yeah, people got to give Spo a lot of credit. You know, they got the stuff in there. You know, but to be quite honest with you, man, I think you could plug and play anybody in there. I know Jimmy is nice. I don't see where people talk about with Jimmy. You know, a superstar got to be there where you bona fide that superstar, right? And like, you know, you say Kevin Durant is fair. Do people really fear Jimmy? I don't know. I think playing Philly, he came in real hard because y'all got rid of me. I wanted to be here. And y'all kept this lazy bum over here.
I don't know, bro.
You know, I think he wanted to play with Joel. He just didn't. You could tell.
No, he definitely wants to play. He definitely wanted to be there, and I definitely think he took that Philly series personally. But I also think Jimmy, if you don't have if someone doesn't have Jimmy as a bona fide superstar, I would definitely think he's probably a borderline superstar at the least.
So let me say tier 1: Kobe, Jordan, LeBron. Those are tier 1s.
Okay.
Right?
Well, yeah.
Tier 2,
do it in terms of. Okay, I'm listening.
I would say Scotty, John Stockton. I'm just going back to that old traditional, right? Or hell, I guess you say Chris Paul, like bona fide 2. Kyrie, I don't even know what the hell Kyrie is. I don't know if he's sometimes he want to be a 1 or a 2. When I look at Jimmy, you hanging your hat on a franchise on Jimmy Butler. Chicago tried it didn't work. He went to Minnesota.
Jimmy in Chicago isn't Jimmy in Miami though. That's 2 different Jimmy Butlers.
I got
offensively. That's 2 different Jimmy Butlers.
He goes to Minnesota. Cap is the number 1. Your attitude is number 1, but you don't fit there. Okay, fine. So we send you to Philly. Joel's supposed to be the number 1. Where you coming at? You the number 2. You the number 3. Now you go to Miami. Really, Miami is really not predicated on Jimmy. You got to be the man. Bam could be the man tonight, and Jimmy could give you 10, 15. Where that number 1 guy, when it's their team, they putting up the. You telling me you think Charles Barkley is gonna say, "Yo, Dan Marley, you go ahead and score 30 tonight, man. I'm gonna go ahead and take the 15 route." Nah.
No, but I think if the game is close and if the game is down, Jimmy's not telling Bam to do that either. If the Miami Heat aren't if the other Heat players aren't moving, we saw it last night. Jimmy can drop 40. Jimmy dropped 20. Like I think he had 20 in the second half. He had 27 in the second half last night because his teammates weren't doing it for him. His teammates weren't doing it for him. That's why. To me, that's why Jimmy's a superstar. To me, that's why he is.
But I don't know who's that number 1 franchise. No, okay. I just don't put him up there like it's kind of like with me and Tracy McGrady. You know what I'm saying? Tracy had that great 13 points in whatever seconds.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. If you asked me if he was a Hall of Famer, I would tell you no. I don't think T-Mac was Hall of Fame worthy. You know what I'm saying? I just think he was a great player in that era.
Yeah,
just like I thought D. Brown was a great player. Is D. Brown a Hall of Famer? No.
Yeah.
Glenn Rice was a great player. To me, I mean, these are guys that I see that's like, yo, you know, Clyde Drexler, Hall of Famer. Yeah. Barkley, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Kevin Johnson had a lot of stuff going on. I mean, being from New York, I'm not going to say Starks was no Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't see, you know, I think anybody getting in these days, like Chris Bosh. You telling me he's a Hall of Famer. Why? Because of the body of work that he did in Toronto? Because what the hell did he do in Miami? He was a role player at best. So, and then, you know, sickness got him. But you classify him as a Hall of Famer?
It's also not tough to make that basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not tough.
I think I had this debate before with I didn't think what you call it deserved to be a Hall of Famer either, Ben Wallace. But then when I saw the defensive players of the year, yeah, I mean, come on, bro, you won championship.
Yeah, but
you got one championship. But he also had like about 3 or 4 defensive players.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the
okay, so bet based on that, you telling me right now your boy from Utah is a Hall of Famer? Gobert's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Rudy's gonna make the Hall of Fame. I'm gonna tell you right now, Rudy's gonna make the Hall of Fame.
Come on. And that bum shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Rudy's gonna make the Hall of Fame.
They should have a bum Hall of Fame, and then they should have what you call it. I'm seriously. That's like sitting there telling me like, yo,
between the defensive player of the years,
greatest point guard ever.
The All NBA's. Oh, come on now, Mad Dog, don't do that.
No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what you make it to me. Yo, Cousy in this day and age, man, he would have put the skirts on people.
Rudy's a Hall of Famer. Because sometimes a person can make the Hall of Fame, and this is just me spitballing right now. Sometimes a person can make the Hall of Fame if they're one of the best in their era over a long period of time. You can make the Hall of Fame for that because it solidifies you as one of the best or the best at what you did during your, at least I'll say 7 to 10 years time span. So I think Rudy has to continue to play at this level for a couple of more years. Like if he just stopped right now, honestly, he probably would still make it because he has 3 depoys. I don't see how, because there's only nobody who else has done that really. So he's going to make it.
There's only 2 players like that I would say I gave the pass to. Dennis Rodman, because he was freaking great at what he did. And people don't know from Detroit that Rodman could score.
Yeah.
And Dikembe Mutombo. Dikembe Mutombo was a force in the middle. Like, you had to think twice before you came into that middle. Rudy Gobert gets banged on, bro. Like, nobody's afraid of this dude. But because it's like defensive player of the year normally goes to a big man, which is why you see the NBA starting to change it. And I will say this, because I did promise I'll bring up this point. Joel Embiid got robbed. They try to switch it up, but a guard could really be considered. There's a lot of times that Michael should have probably won it, MVP of the what you call it,
Defensive player, yeah.
And he felt that way against Karl Malone when he won it that year.
Yeah.
You could have gave it to him through all 6 championships, the MVP of the league. So they just had to do something, and I see where they went with Yoke, but I just don't think they really looked at. And Joel didn't help himself either. Stop talking about it. You go out, you play your game. Look at what this man, the body of work that this man did when Ben Simmons wasn't there. This man basically carried the team all season. All season. Carried them in the playoffs. Came back with a broken socket. Okay, we're not supposed to look at the playoffs. The man should have won MVP. He got robbed, man. He got robbed like the Sacramento Kings got robbed against the Lakers.
Sheesh.
But we ain't going to say nothing about that. We're going to keep it moving. That man got robbed. So, yeah, let's see. I think everybody on this Jimmy Butler hype today. Let's see what happens when Al comes back and Smart comes back.
Yep.
And if he gets through this playoff,
Smart's gonna see a lot of time on Jimmy, I think.
Yeah. If he goes through this playoffs, we're gonna and let me tell you this right now. I don't see Jimmy saying like Michael, the glove. I had no problems with the glove. Jimmy's gonna be. I don't think Jimmy's gonna be that. So, baby Rage, don't be anointing nobody with no Jordan stuff yet, buddy. Don't be doing it, buddy.
Oh man.
The Kings should have a lottery pick every year. Oh my goodness. Anyway, it's been good to be back. Hands down, Philly had a good season. Y'all got one. I mean, hell, y'all didn't get swept. So
yeah, we ain't get swept. We won 2 in Philly. Those were some exciting games. It was nice just seeing Joel Embiid dominate all season. That's really what it was. Joel Embiid it was just a dominant season from him. Trey said it when the James Harden trade happened. He was like, them trade for James Harden is going to make it so Joel Embiid can't win MVP. And that's kind of how the media went. Once we got James Harden, it was like, oh, he got help now. He don't need MVP. But James Harden,
James ain't do nothing but
exactly
strip clubs and have some damn wings.
Exactly, but it's a name. It's a name. You feel me?
So with that being said, I got past the pass. I look forward to some interesting basketball. If I don't know, I kind of do want to see Boston win it because I do believe Tatum is really a big Kobe fan. I think that would be something to solidify him, and I like to see him with his little kid on the court. I like how the NBA is spinning that nonsense. But if it gets to the babyface assassin, I really feel that I want him to win it because although I'm a Kevin Durant fan, I need Kevin to see. If you asked me to stay there in Golden State, you would have sat down there and y'all could have kept on winning chips. They asked you to stay and you let Draymond, call you a little bit and all this other stuff. You let that get into your head and now you're part of dysfunction.
Hey, man.
So, I wouldn't mind seeing a babyface assassin get it. So now I'm going to leave you with this on top. Babyface assassin wins 5. Say he gets his finals MVP. Is he better than Magic?
Babyface wins. Wait, how many? He only got 3 now, right?
I think he got 4.
Nah, they got 3.
Remember,
they got the 1 in 15 and then 2 back-to-back with KD. So only got 3.
Okay. So this will be.
If he wins this year, this will make 4.
Sure?
Yeah. Because they went 3 in a row with KD, but man, that last one, everybody got injured. They didn't win it. They won 2 in a row with KD, and he won that one in 2015.
Okay, let's go to the wikis. You all right? He got 3. All right, so I guess he needs what? So what you saying? You saying 2 more chips? He don't got no Finals MVP.
That's tough.
He wins a Finals MVP.
Because Magic got 5, right?
He better than.
I can't remember how many.
Magic got 5.
I can't remember how many Finals MVPs Magic had off the top of my head though.
He does have a. I know he got a Finals MVP.
He got
I know
at least
he
one.
at least got one.
Many. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to the wikis. Oh, he got 3 Finals MVPs. Okay, 80, 82, and 87.
80, 87.
Yeah, so 2 Finals. I mean,
That's tough.
Something to ponder right there. Something to ponder.
I don't know
that
if Steph
babyface assassin.
We'll see. Magic's still my number 1 point guard. I ain't gonna hold you. Magic's still my number 1. Magic is still my number 1 point guard.
Yeah, okay. I'm just saying it's a little bit of food for thought, but I want to debate on them. I need them to go win at least 2 or 3 more and solidify themselves as I mean, they're never going to be the greatest team. 73-9 ain't a thing if you ain't got the ring. So the Chicago Bulls 72-10, still the greatest team to ever play. You youngins won't know nothing about that. 72 wins ain't a thing if you ain't got that ring, and they closed it out with the ring. Greatest player to ever play the game.
I feel you.
So thank you, Hawk Hoops. I look forward to Luka, this damn Paul Pierce bastard. I look forward to seeing what he does in the postseason. And guys, I wasn't running away. I try to make my appearances frequently. Y'all see I took my hits. Anybody out there that looked at me, y'all see that I took my hits. I started with the Nets. I'm gonna end with the Nets. They need to clear house. I don't know who we need as a coach. I would love to see Mark Jackson get a chance. I really would.
I wanted Mark Jackson to get the Kings job, to be honest with you. I really did. I wanted him to get the Kings. Like, I think I think he's a really great player development coach. But I also know the Kings are going to tarnish his record. So, like, I didn't want him to go there because I know they're going to lose a lot. But I also wanted him to go there because I think he would have the opportunity to show his player development, especially with that young team.
You know who's going to be good next year? The Clippers. With Kawhi coming back, I think they're going to be good. But there is one other thing. I think I'll leave it on this note. When you talked about Butler, when you talked about Jimmy Butler, him and Paul George, the tale of who is he? Is he PG in Indiana or is he PG now? Like, you see PG after the injury, he's kind of diminished a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He can't carry a franchise on his own. He's a bona fide number two. PG in Indiana, he was the number one option. So that's where it is for me with Jimmy. He's kind of like, I believe in Jimmy.
With that, to be honest
you know, the homeless Jimmy in the bubble was a dog when he didn't get a haircut. Jimmy is just, he was just always a weird fit for me from being a Bulls fan and watching him and D Rose. You never know where Jimmy fit in. Jimmy Butler is 2019 Kawhi Leonard. I can't even say that because I think Kawhi has something to prove to San Antonio.
Oh no, like, Kawhi was going out there with a vengeance. Kawhi was being an assassin during that playoff run.
Once he got that, I think in his head he was like, "Yo, I'm solidified." Like, I mean, whether I help the Clippers win a ring or not, I'm just going home. You know what I'm saying? If he helps the Clippers win a ring, yo, that dude would have taken 2 snake-bitten franchises and just like, I mean, I will never say he's the greatest of all time. Like, that would never come out my mouth. But, you know, and I will say this since Baby Ray's got LeBron up there. I know we always talk about the GOAT and LeBron James. You know, I will give credit to the fact that, you know, LeBron James, he did it right, man. You know, coming in, I might not like all the things that he has done in his career. He is number, I think when it's all said and done for me, he'll be number 2, and I just have to come to the exception of this generation will put him at number 1. He did handle his career very well. It's hard to, you know, to be that guy. It's kind of sad to see where the ending of his career is going. I think Genie should get rid of him. I think they should trade him. Really? And at least let the man finish out his let him finish out his career somewhere where who they gonna put over there, man? Anthony Davis ain't ready. This man don't got 2 or 3 years for rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? Genie
I don't
should
think
do
they
a
have
favor.
the guts to do it. I don't think unless LeBron asks.
Yeah.
Like, LeBron would have to ask them to let him go. Like, I don't think the Lakers organization have the guts to do it on their own.
I think they should do him a favor. Like I said, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna end where I started. Rob Pelinka, get on the phone to Brooklyn, trade LeBron James for Kyrie Irving, and let's go ahead, Nets. Let's get this championship. Right. Him and KD.
All right. See,
him and KD. I mean, hey man, KD needs somebody to be a leader. LeBron knows how to pass that ball, and he don't want to take no last shot. So I just hate to see his Hey man, I told you I'm coming with the heat today. I hate to see a guy go out like that, man. He don't got it. He don't have it, and they don't got role players that want to go there, man. The best person that would have been for him would have been Clay. Clay would have probably been the best. He needs a shooter over there for sure. and some defenders.
To
LeBron
play with
back to
him.
Miami.
They gotta figure
Oh
something out.
man, don't destroy Miami like that. Miami got good chemistry. They don't need it. They don't need that diva over there. He's a straight diva. Anyway, I know you got. Dang, I took up a lot of time today, guys. Thank you. See y'all next week, Hawk. As always, man, it's a pleasure.
Appreciate you, Jason.
Have a good one.
Later.
All right, later.
It's always a good time when Jason calls. Appreciate you for calling in, Jason. All right, man. Oh yeah, we was on the phone for a while. Y'all was in here chatting. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us. All right, so let's get into it. I got a couple more things I want to go over the docket. I want to get my thoughts on these upcoming series going real quick. Two things I want to touch on before just what Jason was talking about that I didn't get a chance to say. One, I don't know if Indiana Paul George is better than Clippers Paul George. If you ask me, low key, they're the same Paul George. People, Jason said it, but I've heard a lot of people say before that Indiana Paul George was able to be the guy, able to do more for his team and take his team further. I don't think Indiana Paul George has taken the Indiana team any further or any deeper than the Clippers or OKC has been. Indiana went to the Eastern Conference Finals that one year, but I also think that was just a better team. I don't know. Quick thoughts. All right, let's get into this Boston-Miami series. We saw game one last night. We talked about Jimmy Butler on the call with Jason. I personally think if Serge, what's good, man? Appreciate you for pulling up. If Boston was healthy, I'm talking fully healthy. Marcus Smart's there. Al Jefferson. Al is there. I think Boston has a better chance of winning if they're healthy. If both teams are completely healthy, I would probably go with Boston for winning. Miami handled business at home. They won at home. I honestly expect them to win game 2 at home. I'm very curious to see how game 3 and 4 goes in Boston. Two main takeaways for me when in this series. On the Miami side, one, who's going to step up and play alongside Jimmy Butler? We know Jimmy Butler's going to go crazy. We know Jimmy Butler's going to do his thing. He had his 41, I want to say he had over 20 in the second half. I'm very curious who else steps up. Is it going to be Tyler Hero on a consistent basis giving us 17 to 20 points a game? I need more from Bam Adebayo. I literally have that in caps on my notes. I need more from Bam Adebayo. He only took 4 field goal attempts. He was there defensively. Yes, Bam, defensively, he was there. Very impactful. But on the offensive side of the court, if Al Horford's not playing, I honestly expected Bam to have a huge game in game 1. I know Time Lord's still there. Robert Williams is still there. I know the Boston Celtics have other good bigs, but I think Bam should be able to take advantage more on the interior, especially with Al being out. I really thought that was going to be a key matchup going into this series. And then from what I can tell, Al might not be back until game 3, game 4. We might see Marcus Smart for game 2. He's listed as probable, but it's still not 100% certain. But Miami's biggest thing, and Rage, you read my mind, talking about Max Strus, talking about Gabe Vincent, those other guys just stepped up. Max Strus, over this last week and a half, I mean, obviously I was watching the Heat a lot when they were beating up on my Sixers, but during that series and then even in that game last night, he just always seems to be making the right play at the right time, doing the right thing at the right time. If they can continue to do that, I think the Heat have a legitimate chance of beating, I won't even say chance, the Heat can beat the Boston Celtics. One, because they have the type of players who play better at home. Max Strus is one of those players. Gabe Vincent is one of those type of players. Don't ask me which Martin brother twin they have. I can't remember the first name, but he's one of those type of guys. Even Bam to an extent. I like him. He's an all-star caliber player, but he definitely plays better at home. The only guys whose game I know I can count on to travel on the road if I'm Miami is Jimmy Butler's. Everybody else is going to play better at home. You guys have home court advantage for a reason. On the Boston Celtics side of things, Marcus Smart I like a lot. I'm looking forward to when he comes back. I'm very curious to see how he looks when he comes back because he has a sprain, I want to say in his ankle. I was looking at it earlier today, but I forget too sometimes. But because he has that ankle sprain, I'm very curious to see what his defensive impact is going to look like when he's back, because those are the type of things that weigh on you. You know, playing defense, stuff like that. That's all ankle sprain stuff. Caleb Martin, appreciate you. If Kyle Lowry was here, if Kyle Lowry was healthy, yeah, I agree. Kyle Lowry is a better player than Marcus Smart. I don't think that's crazy. But with the state that Kyle Lowry is in, honestly, if I'm in Miami Heat, I don't even think I want Kyle Lowry back on the court. Because when we saw what I saw from him in the Sixers series, I mean, granted, no, I don't think he was fully 100% back yet. But if he comes back looking like he did in the Sixers, I don't want him on the court because he was more of a hindrance than a help. He just if he doesn't look like himself, if he doesn't have the I'm not even gonna call him crazy athletic, but if he doesn't have the athleticism that he already has, he really is a detriment to, I think, their defense and offense. What else do I have written down here? And in terms of, it's funny. All my guy friends saying this. Jason says this. My boy Mario says this all the time. Dami says it. G says it. All my guys say this, that when talking about the Boston Celtics, there's not that much of a difference between Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And they think the NBA and media is trying to push the Jason Tatum agenda more than they're trying to push the Jaylen Brown agenda. And I'm watching these games. Jason Tatum had an amazing first half. Jaylen Brown had a solid game. I think I want more from Jaylen Brown. I think this is a perfect opportunity for Jaylen Brown to prove to everybody that, hey, I'm just as good as Jason Tatum, if not better, depending on who you talk to and depending on what you value. Give me the ball a little more, be a little more assertive, especially on the road, because I think Boston has those two guys can be guys who can have big road games. Peyton Pritchard, Grant Williams, I like them a lot. They shoot the ball well. They play with a lot of energy. They play really, really good defense. But I like them more at home. And if you're going to be the road team, if you're going to be the team with the lower seed, Boston Celtics 2 guys have to step up and play better. Victor Oladipo, another really, really good guy, but I think he's another guy who's going to play better at home. I don't think he's necessarily Victor Oladipo's role player like the Caleb Martins, like the Struces, like that level of player. I think he maybe is a little bit better than him because he's been, an all-star caliber player before his injury. But I think he could be a nice little X factor for the Miami Heat. I like him a lot. I think he was a big addition when they got him coming off of his injury, and that he's just only looked better and better and better as he continues to get healthy and continue to play well for the Miami Heat. Ninja says, what's the next Q&A? We're actually going to open up the Discord in a second for that. Does anybody know the all-rookie first team? I don't think they announced all-rookie teams or all-NBA. I don't think they announced any of the teams yet, Serge. It might be leaked out there, but I don't know them. I'll say that. I'm trying to just go over my notes real quick to see if there's any other thing I wanted to talk about this Boston-Miami series. Jason was saying, oh, they did announce all-rookie first team? When did they announce the all-rookie first team? Did I just miss those? Or did I not care enough? I might have been something. Oh, Shams confirmed it? Oh, they just announced it. Oh, you're not asking when. You're telling me they just did. Oh, wow. All right. All right. Let's do this real quick. We're going to get to the Dallas Warriors series, but I'm just very curious. I haven't seen them. Is it on? I got a notification, but is it on there? Here we go. Oh, official release, 8:37 p.m. All right. Our rookie teams, just real quick, because I'm just curious myself. Oh, they put a tweet out, even better, because I don't feel like reading the whole article. Any day now, Twitter. Any day now. First team, Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley. Makes sense. They were the 3 finalists. Franz Wagner, shout out to him. Jalen Green, shout out to him. Herb Jones, I like that. Giddy, Bones Highland, Io DeSumo from Chicago, Chris Duarte from Indiana. I'm not mad at this. I like this list. I don't think I made an all rookie team. I got to go back and look at my notes. I know I definitely didn't make a video about all rookie if I did have thoughts on it. But I think this was what my team. I think I had somebody else for Chris Duarte. I don't think he was on my all rookie team. I'd have to go back and look. But other than that, I really like this team. These are a lot of guys. I liked all of these guys on this list. I just want to. I'm not mad at that all rookie team at all. All right, let's continue on. We already been live for 45 minutes, and I feel like I ain't got to have half the stuff I wanted to get to. I wanted to talk about Warriors in Dallas. My Boston Miami thoughts. I think I'm overall just TLDR. I like Miami in this series a lot, mainly because Boston's injured. I think Miami's going to go into Boston up 2-0, and Boston's going to have a statement game in game 3. If Boston does not have a statement game in let me rephrase, because I don't see a world where Boston goes down 3-0. So Boston's going to win game 3. Game 4 is going to be the statement game. If Miami can bounce back and win 3-1, then, well, GG's. If Boston can go up 2 and tie it up 2-2, head back to Miami, we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there. I need more from Bam offensively. Defensively, he's doing amazing. I need more from Bam offensively. Jimmy Butler looked absolutely amazing. I love him defensively, especially in that third quarter of that first game. I think you're going to have a better game from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum had a lot, and I mean a lot of turnovers. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown both said in their post-game pressers that they need to play better. They took it on themselves. They said, we need to play better. They said, we will be better. So I'm very curious to see what that better looks like from the both of them. We know they can both blow up for 30, 40-point games when they want to. I think Miami Heat, though, has some really good defenders that can make things tough for them. Bam, I need more from you. I'm looking forward to seeing Al Horford back. I'm looking forward to seeing Marcus Smart back. Kyle Lowry, is it a handicap? Sure. Do I want him to play? But only if he's healthy. TLDR. Miami probably in 7, though. That's what I'm going with. Wouldn't be surprised either way. But Miami in 7. Warriors, Dallas. All right. If the Warriors can't stop Luka, it's going to be Heat versus Mavs. Oh, Davion Mitchell got robbed. And I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that one. And Serge, I agree. Boston was better in every quarter except that third quarter. They were absolutely awful in the third. I remember watching the third, and I can distinctly remember like at least 2 or 3 times where Jimmy Butler just stole a really bad pass, got out in the transition, scored on the fast break. Stole a really bad pass, got in the transition, scored a fast break. It's just something about the Miami Heat, and I just really like the Miami Heat. Personally, I just really, really like the Miami Heat, but I like Boston as well. I think this is truly a case of the 2 best teams in the Eastern Conference being in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think these 2 teams are the best teams in the East, and they are deservingly in the Eastern Conference Finals. Oh, yeah, Rage. Those were twice in a row, because I remember thinking it was, if I want to say it was a pass from the left wing to the right wing, and both times he just got it right at the top of the key and just went down for an easy layup. Moving on to the Warriors versus Dallas Mavericks. First off, I want to say, I'll be honest, I'm still in shock from Game 7 of the Phoenix Suns Dallas Mavericks series. Absolutely still in shock from that series. I talked about it in the video a couple days ago. My mind still can't process what I saw. It was absolutely embarrassing from the Suns, but wildly impressive from the Dallas Mavericks at the same time. The way they beat the Suns, though, it's not just Luka. That's the thing. Luka, yes. Luka was Luka. He's having an amazing playoff performance. He's going from someone who... Please don't talk about my Suns. He's going from someone who never made it out of the first round to now being in the Western Conference Finals. I actually tweeted about it the other day. It's weird seeing these new generation of superstars literally blossoming before our eyes. Luka goes from first round exit to Western Conference Finals. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are now in their second Eastern Conference Finals in 3-4 years. Like, it's just really nice seeing these younger guys grow up and blossom into amazing players. All that being said, a couple of things come to mind immediately when I think about this series. The Dallas Mavericks, yes, beat the Phoenix Suns. And yes, I think the Phoenix Suns collapsed, but the Dallas Mavericks showed me a lot of things in there that I think make them really good opponents and a really good matchup for the Golden State Warriors in terms of they could beat the Warriors. Jason Kidd showed me he knows how to coach and can make adjustments on the fly. Now we'll see what type of adjustments he makes, but I like seeing that he's willing and able to implement those adjustments. The Suns were trying to hunt and find Luka. They started blitzing those double teams. We talked about it before. I'm not going to go into crazy in depth, but they started blitzing those pick and rolls. It's just small adjustments like that showing Jason Kidd, all right, you know how to coach. That's a plus. They have other guys who can step up and hit big shots when needed. Maxi Kleber, Spencer Dinwiddie, Jalen Brunson. They have guys who can create their own shots. Spencer Dinwiddie, Jalen Brunson. Dorian Finney-Smith had that big game where he hit a lot of threes. The Mavericks are a really, really good team. And they have arguably the best player in the playoffs on their team. I think it's really interesting how good the remaining superstars are and how much they've elevated their game for the playoffs. For the Warriors, the thing that worries me the most about the Dallas Mavericks, I have no idea. Like, literally, absolutely no idea who you put on who you put on Luka Doncic. I think you're going to start out with probably Andrew Wiggins. I don't hate Andrew Wiggins defensively, but I don't think he's like absolutely amazing. I think you're going to maybe at times, because of switches, you're going to see probably some Draymond Green on him. I don't think Draymond Green has the foot speed to keep up with Luka. We talk about how slow Luka is, but I don't think you want Draymond Green on him as a one-on-one defender. I think Draymond Green benefits from being a free safety type defender. Like, I think you put Draymond Green on Maxi Kleber and give Green the opportunity to move around a little bit, but then you risk leaving Kleber open for a corner three. They could try putting Klay Thompson on him, but depending on how Klay's looking, still returning back from his injury, I think he looks good at times, but then he still doesn't look amazing at others. And so a big X factor for me is, can Jalen Brunson, can Spencer Dinwiddie continue to do what they did in that last series? Can we have games like we had in that game 7 where Spencer Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson show up to give you 20 plus? Because in leading up to this in the playoffs so far, it'd be a game where one of them was good or the other one was good. I never really felt like we had a game where both of them were really on point for the Dallas Mavericks. And honestly, until those last couple of games for the Dallas Mavericks, I didn't love Spencer Dinwiddie. But if he can continue to do what he did in that Sun series, I really like the Dallas Mavericks in here. And I might be crazy. I might be a prisoner of the moment. But the way Luka's really elevating his game and the way his game is, he's built for the playoffs. He's built for half court, slow the ball down. But they still have other guys who can do other stuff. And I feel like I'm beating a dead horse because I feel like I just keep repeating myself and keep saying the same thing over and over. But that's why I love the Dallas Mavericks so much, because Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie, they do a lot for that team in terms of being able to create off the dribble, create off of a Luka driving kick. They can then, in turn, put the ball back down again and create something else. And now you might have a Dorian Finney-Smith now open for a 3, Maxi Kleber open for 3. They have the opportunity and ability to make a lot of offense. Now, obviously on the Warriors side of things, they're obviously no slouch. Steph Curry's in a weird spot for me. I'll be honest. To me, if you look at his numbers, you might not necessarily think this, but to me, it feels like Steph's having an off playoffs. He doesn't look like himself fully. There's times, obviously, yes. There's been a couple of games, obviously, yes, where he looks absolutely amazing. But there's been games where it's like, all right, now, Steph, what you doing? He just hasn't felt like he's really imposing his will on these playoffs yet, in my opinion, at least. I'm just a guy with a mic, you know what I mean? He can prove me wrong in this Dallas Mavericks series, and I go, oh, okay, yeah, never mind. I'll take it all back. Steph, sure, yeah, whatever. But I'm very curious to see how they guard Luka. I'm very curious to see Jordan Poole, Klay, Wiggins. I think these two teams match up wonderfully against each other. I think neither of these teams have a crazy interior defense. So both of these teams can run small. Both of these teams can have a lot of shooters on the court at all times. Both of these teams can do a lot of switching on defense and offense. But how do you hide Steph? How do you, to an extent, hide Poole? Poole's serviceable, but I don't love him defensively, I'll be honest. How do you hide those guys? If Looney's on the court for an extended period of time, how do you avoid Luka searching him out on the switch? These are just some of the things I'm thinking about for the Suns. I almost feel like I sound like I'm saying the Mavericks are the favorites. I didn't look up to see who the favorites are. Actually, if you go by ESPN, I think they had like 18 guys make picks, ESPN experts, you know what I mean? And in this series in particular, 14 people picked the Warriors, 5 picked the Mavericks. The guys who picked the Mavericks are Bobby Marks, Tim McMahon, Zach Lowe picked the Mavericks, Israel Gutierrez, and 10 Bontemps. But I think the Mavericks can win this series. I really, really do. Give me like Mavericks in 7. Because it's not gonna be easy. It's definitely not gonna be easy. They're gonna have to come into the Bay, win a game in the Bay. It's not gonna be easy, but it's not impossible. It really, really is not impossible for them to win a game in the Bay. I might be tripping, but it's not impossible. Let's see what they're talking about in here. Baby Ray said this a little while ago. Choked in, who are you talking about? Choked in 2008. So choked in 2008, 2-0 lead versus Spurs, 2-0 lead versus Memphis, 2015, 3-1 versus the Rockets, 2-0 versus Portland, 2-0 versus Milwaukee, 2-0 versus Dallas, and now trailing 46 in game 7. Oh, is this CP3? Dang, bro, leave my man alone. Leave my man alone, bro. How you allow Luka to have more points than your whole team would never happen to me, LOL. And then Kuminga. I don't know, man. I really think the Mavericks could win this series. It's almost like maybe I'm rooting for the storyline of Luka going from first round exit to finals. That would just be really, really dope to me. And I think they have the team to do it. I really think they have a really good team that can do it. And honestly, I'm very curious to see. People talk a lot about Steve Kerr's coaching. A lot of people don't necessarily believe he's a great coach. I think he is. I think he's a good coach offensively and defensively. But I'm curious to see how good is he at making on-the-fly adjustments. I think Steve Kerr is a great coach of creating great systems, letting those systems run, letting those systems play out. But I'm curious to see how he is in making game-to-game adjustments. Because I think you're going to have to do that a lot against a player like Luka and against a team like the Dallas Mavericks. And the last thing before we get up out of here, I don't want to keep y'all long. We've been on here for 58 minutes, you feel me? I know we all got stuff to do. The NBA draft lottery was last night. I thought I had the link for it already pulled up. I didn't. Y'all know me. If you don't know me by now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a huge college ball guy. I don't keep track of all the top crazy prospects. However, I am looking forward to this draft. Like Paolo Banchero, I've been paying attention to. Chet Holmgren, I've been watching a lot of. Really happy for the Orlando Magic. You get the number 1 pick. The Thunder get the number 2 pick. Actually, I'll share this with you guys so you can see what I'm looking at. This is NBA's mock draft. Consensus mock draft, top 3, far from clear in the first look at the draft lottery. I don't remember how many guys or girls, ladies they had working on this, but this is basically how their mock draft went. They had Jabari Smith going 1, Chet Holmgren going 3, Paolo Banchero going 3, Chet going 2. My biggest thing, that's all I'm saying is this. My biggest thing is this. All I want is Chet Holmgren to go to the Oklahoma City Thunder. I said all that to say this one thing. I really hope Chet goes to the Thunder. I think he looked great along SGA. I think he looked great around Giddey. And I think there's no reason for the Magic to draft him. They already have 1,007-footers. They don't need another one. Let Chet go to the Thunder. Let them run SGA, Giddey, Poku, Chet, and Lou Dort. That's just a lineup I really, really want to see for the Thunder. The undercover Thunder fan in me was happy when I saw that we got the second pick. What y'all? Oh, you want Paolo to go to the Thunder? Interesting surge. Wait. And you're saying the Kings are going to the playoffs? What is with the Kings fans saying y'all going to the playoffs like easily? You're not the first person. I say y'all because you're not the first person I've heard say this. Is that what you mean? Are you saying Kings, in my opinion, playoff easy? Or are you saying King in my like? No, I guess you're saying Kings. Nah, that's wild. I've seen so many Kings fans tell me y'all are going to the playoffs this upcoming season. Big three. Who? Are you saying Jaden Ivey, Fox, and Sabonis? Is that the big three? Kings fans must know something I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, Kings fans. Y'all going to be a play-in team. I'm seeing a whole lot of Kings fans telling me y'all going to be in the playoffs. And I mean, at best, y'all going to be the play-in team. Y'all might not make the play-in this year. No, I don't. That's not a big three. Hey, it's okay. It's all right. Kings fans is okay. I seen people telling me, well, Sabonis is a bona fide all-star. They've had him, yada, yada. Sabonis, yes, made an all-star team, but I don't necessarily consider him a bona fide all-star. I don't think he's making an all-star game in the Western Conference. I really don't. And I don't know how they make the playoffs when some of the teams that were bad, in my opinion, at least, are going to be better. Like, let's look at the NBA standings. And it's not even just about you, N. This ain't even just on you. I get these questions all the time about the Kings organization. Right? All the time. So these are the I don't know how we got to here talking about the Kings, but here we are. So these were the standings. I'm gonna tell you right now, I think the Trailblazers are gonna be better next year. Don't ask me how. Well, I'm gonna tell you how. Damian Lillard. I really think Lillard's horrible play was due to injury. I think he's gonna be better. I think the Spurs are gonna still be solid. What's goody, my boy? Yeah, General 215. What's good? The General 215 made it for stream tonight. Hey, I'm pulling up on your stream right after this, bro. The Clippers are going to be better. The Pelicans are going to be better. Like, I don't see a world where y'all get to from the 12th seed to here. I hate to do this to Kings fans, but I don't see a world where y'all get from the 12th seed where you just were 30-52 to here. Now, maybe you surprise me. 34-48. Yeah, maybe you win a couple more games and you end up the 10 seed Spurs. But I don't know if you're getting past that. I may be tripping. I may be a hater. You can say a whole lot. I just think the West there's a lot of teams in the West that are better than the Kings. That's just my opinion. But all the playing teams will be better and the Lakers will be better. I agree. I think the Lakers could be better. Because honestly, if you just a healthy Lakers team, even with all the non-fitting stuff, with the fact that I still don't think that team was a good fit together, a healthy Lakers team is better than the 11 seed. So I don't know. Kings, you're going to be nice to watch. You're going to be fun to watch for sure. You're going to be exciting. You're going to be exciting young team to watch, just like my Thunder. Honest opinion, Dubson and Mad. Who'd you bet the house on if you had the house? See, that's tough. All right. So I just said, General, I just said, I think the Mavs can beat them. But if I was actually bet on that series, I'd probably go with the Warriors. No, I think I'd go with the Mavs. I think I would go with the Mavs. If I was actually betting on that series, I think I would go with the Mavs. The Mavs just started playing their best basketball at the best possible time. The Warriors were not playing their best basketball going into the playoffs. Could they still ramp it up? Sure. Yeah. 100% they could. Oh, someone's calling? Oh, good look. Who called in and I missed it? Oh, he called back? Hold on.
Man, hello?
Jason, what's good? What's good?
Man, you looked me off twice, man. Man, you ain't cut off this phone, man. The Kings ain't about to do nothing. Mike Brown is not that guy. Just stop the madness. Stop trying to make people feel good out here.
Look,
Cut this call off, man. The Kings are terrible.
I ain't want to just shoot him down.
The Sacramento Queens, man. Just cut it off.
I ain't want to shoot him down.
Chance. The league messed them up, man. Stop this nonsense, man. You got people missing good playing time right now. Okay? Kings ain't doing nothing. That's like the Chicago Bulls is going to win the championship before I die. Not going to happen.
So many, I kid you not, so many people tell me all the time, some way, somehow, the Kings are making the playoffs. And I'm just like, what are y'all seeing that I'm not? Because it's just, there's not a world where this happens.
Mike Brown is not that guy.
I like Mike Brown, but I don't love him. Like, yeah.
Mike Brown is that guy because of what you call it.
Because of
just like Phil Jackson. Yeah, it's just like Phil Jackson. Everybody's like Phil, the greatest coach ever. No. Red Auerbach was a great coach. Red Auerbach had all these different teams, and he knew how to make brothers win. He worked with them brothers, let them win in a racist place. Phil Jackson had people, Michael.
Though. He knew how to work with people.
Let me tell you something.
The only reason, listen. The only reason I'll say he knew how to work with people is maybe not the Michael stuff. We'll take it the Michael stuff, the Bulls years. Obviously, I'm putting that on Michael. Yada yada. But the Lakers wins, I say he knows how to work with people because Shaq and Kobe talk so highly of him and his ability to. They don't necessarily always talk about. They don't talk about the X's and O's. So I'll give you that. I don't hear Shaq and Kobe always talk about the X's and O's. But when they talk about Phil, they talk about his off-season work. They talk about his ability to put people together, his ability to manage egos, his ability to basically
he was
manage
the Zen
people.
Master.
Yeah, they talk about that. Zen Master. So I'll give you.
Yeah, but let me tell you,
he might not be an X and O guy, but part of coaching is like we just talked about with Nash. Part of coaching is the respect of managing egos, managing superstars. That's a big part of coaching.
Steve Kerr is a good coach. Now, if he can go somewhere else and do it, cool. Phil had Michael. You know what? And I'm going to say this. I did not like Eric Spoelstra, okay? I thought Eric Spoelstra was a Pat Riley puppet, all right?
Uh-huh.
But after looking at Spo has been down there for how long? How many different players did Spo take?
Exactly.
All right?
Spo nice.
Don't give me that with Phil. Phil had Phil had Michael, Scotty, Dennis.
Shaq, Kobe.
Phil had Kobe, Powell, and quiet as kept Shaq. Quiet as kept Lamar Odom Lamar
was in there.
Should have been a guy that should have been in the daggone Hall of Fame.
Lamar
that guy was very nice.
Yeah,
and he was very underrated as a player. But who did you really?
Y'all gonna hate me for saying this, but Lamar was Draymond before Draymond. Maybe not the defensive stop, but like a power forward who can play center, who can put the ball on the ground, who could shoot, who could do a lot of stuff. He was like, you know how we talk about Draymond. Listen to this. It might sound crazy, but you take Draymond's great defense, you turn it into his offensive ability, and that's Lamar Odom, to me at least.
Nah, Lamar Odom was because I remember watching him. He played against my school. He was at Chrysler King for a little bit when we were up at Bishop Loughlin. Him and Eric Barkley. That dude was nice. That dude. I mean, the only reason why he couldn't stay at the school is because he was dumb as dirt. So they sent him up to Rhode Island. Draymond Green. To be honest with you, that guy is just he's a Dennis Rodman. When I look at Draymond, passion and everything, he's a Dennis Rodman. He can score. It's not gonna look pretty. He just is not. I don't.
Yeah.
I think Dennis. I think Dennis might be taller than him.
Yeah, he was.
And
Or
Dennis
is.
is weird. He's weird. Draymond is kind of like a mix between Dennis and Chuck. I don't think he got the scoring of Chuck.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because people don't realize, like, even though they hear Charles Barkley talking a lot of mess,
they sleep on Charles.
That
Barkley.
dude was a
six. Generation.
He was a 6'4" power forward. Like I think he's like what 6'4" or 6'6". That dude played. You're talking about from a Tim Duncan perspective. That dude played above the rim, yo.
You saw I know you probably seen that clip. I can't remember it. I think that was on that podcast that you be watching with them football players. I don't know football like that, but they was saying when Charles was basically saying he was the second best player on the Dream Team right after Michael, and they was like, chill out.
Oh yeah.
People sleep on how good Charles was.
Yeah.
People really sleep.
I did see that. The pivot.
Yeah.
Shout out to the pivot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But football is different. You gotta be you can't be like Oh, well. That being said, I don't know if Hawks Hoops is gonna start a football podcast. Maybe I should start a podcast because I'm a Cowboy fan.
You start the podcast and I'll call in and just start saying stuff. Because when I tell you I don't watch football at all, I'm just gonna call in there just saying whatever.
You don't watch football at all? Wow,
Jason. I tell everybody this, Jason. I watch 3 football games a year. The first 2 I watch the first 2 Eagles games in the regular season, and then NBA preseason starts, and I don't watch another football game again to the Super Bowl.
So you're an NBA fan.
I'm an NBA fan. I don't keep up with football at all. I root for my Eagles because I'm a Philly fan, but I don't know what they be doing.
Eagles suck. The Cowboys suck.
We signed the quarterback today. Everybody was talking about it, and I was like, "Who that?" I said straight like that. Who that?
I didn't even look. I haven't really been following what's going on in the postseason. I mean, what's going on in the off season?
Yeah,
I really don't care that much for their lives. But yeah, Phil. I mean, I love Phil, but Phil went and ruined the Knicks. Certain people just ain't. They need to stay in their role. Like, everybody can't be Pat Riley. Pat Riley's a good executive.
That is true.
And Jerry West is a good executive. And the next time I come on this podcast, you better tell me that you saw some of Winning Times. Come on, man. Even though they say you ain't
I gotta get HBO.
You ain't got HBO?
I got.
Call me up, man. I'll give you my subscription so that you can look at it, man.
All right.
Because that's a daggone that's a travesty. Winning Times is where it is. I mean, even though maybe the depiction of West is not good, West is very good at knowing talent. Yeah. I don't know. I think Pat Riley is good at knowing talent. I also think he's a part of the mob. But for what he's done for the Heat, for what Patty has done for the Heat, come on, man. Armani Suits, man, that guy, he's a mobster, man.
I mean, he got the hair slicked back. He be chilling.
Hey, man, I listen, that's the kind of life I need.
Exactly.
Been to Miami for the last 30 years, and
exactly.
Your team won how many championships? Is it 3 or it's 3? Because D-Wade got 1.
Yeah, they got 3.
He coached D-Wade on 1.
Yeah,
and then Fultz got 2.
Yeah,
right.
So he led that team.
He's still the GM out there.
Yeah, he's still running.
Yeah,
that's why he culture is such a thing, because they've had long-term stability. That's part of the reason a lot of people talk about Heat culture, and a lot of people love the Heat so much. They have long-term stability.
I don't understand how that's not a destination where a lot of free agents would want to go. I mean, I heard JJ Redick said it the other day, like, who wants to stay in Miami in June? It's hot as hell out there. Which I understand. You don't have to live out there in June, but
it's nice to be there in December and in January when the season's going.
Point LA is where it is. I know New York is another big market. I don't see why. And that somebody said to me, they were like, "Well, why don't you think Sacramento gets the players that they get?" I said, "Because Sacramento's like the suburbs, man."
Yeah, about to say Sacramento.
Yeah, they probably ain't got no nightlife.
Yeah,
it ain't nothing that really is attracting. I mean, even the Bay Area. I mean, look at what these guys have done to the Bay Area.
They've built it. They've basically rebuilt
you mean
it.
It was a football town, the 49ers.
Yeah.
Now, the light skinned baby face and his brother Klay Thompson, they might need to sit down there and find out what Mr. Curry was doing since they going after his wife, Mr. Dell. These light skinned brothers are just, he look more like his brother than Seth does. I'm starting to wonder. Yes, that's my controversy for the night. I'm sorry, Kings fans. You just join us, man. Chicago Bulls ain't winning nothing until our owner dies or he sells the team. So it's the same thing like the Kings. Nobody wants to come there, man. Y'all, the last hope y'all had was Boobie Cousins. Boobie was the last hope.
Y'all fumbled that. Y'all ain't put no team around him. Absolutely no talent was put around him. And y'all
Matter of fact, I take that back. Not even Boobie. It was the last team y'all had was Chris Webber.
I mean,
Mike
the last
Bibby.
full team, it was the Chris Webber team. But the last talent y'all had was Boogie. Like, they could have put a team around him, but they didn't.
Yeah.
But the last actual team, you talking about Chris.
Yeah, they should have won it, and y'all got robbed. Y'all straight up got robbed. Like, there was no way the Lakers should have beat y'all that year. No way. And them referees made sure that y'all got robbed.
Come on now, NBA got to keep the story going.
I mean, it's a story franchise. That's what it is.
At
nobody wanted to see Sacramento.
Exactly.
Hey, but you know what? I don't think they put up that situation with I will not say that the NBA sat down there and made win Toronto. I don't believe that wholeheartedly. I believe that Toronto was just I believe I have never seen. And I don't believe in this whole basketball gods nonsense. There's only one Yahweh. But I don't believe that. I believe Toronto had every single break they could get. KD tears his Achilles, Clay goes down, and you have a whole nation behind. I mean, it was like
my Sixers. You know what I mean? Let's not forget that. They don't call the travel on Kawhi. They don't call the travel on Kawhi.
Sixers. Okay. So what since we're gonna do? How many things you can? I understand that. I'm not going to even fight you because you know what?
Playing.
You desperately sound like the Cowboys now. When I'm like, yo, that was a catch with Dez Bryant.
Don't do that. Don't do me like that.
Against the Packers.
Don't do me like that.
And the ball doesn't catch. The ball does not get a fumble. He had that ball. You definitely sound like that guy right now.
Hey.
Oh, let it go, man. Let it go.
Or
the next thing you know, Hawk is gonna be on here talking about, hey guys, Michael Jordan shouldn't have won that dunk championship that year against Dominique Wilkins. We can go to the videotape. Let's go to the NBA. Listen, he got the dunk championship. And for all you LeBron purists, he ain't got no dunk championships. I want to put that out there. I'm going to throw some heat on that. I don't know why the brother was afraid to join, the dunk contest.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Whatever. But
that would be so much fun.
He was afraid if he didn't win, he wouldn't live up to the hype of Michael. So he just figured, I'm gonna do one better. I'm gonna just play long enough to get the Kareem, from him. And now poor Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is fighting for his greatness. I'm the GOAT. No, you not, Skyhook. No, you not. Never was. You out of here.
Wasn't nobody ever calling Kareem the GOAT. Wasn't nobody ever doing that.
Well, people in his era did. So
I mean, yeah. Just like I'm sure people in Wilt Chamberlain's era was calling him the GOAT. But I mean, as time evolves.
Exactly. When everybody else is 6'5", it's easy for you to be the GOAT. You dunking on everybody.
Well.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get off of this thing right here, but stop this Kings talk, man. I need you to let people know where they are, man. No, the Kings suck. Mike Brown. We got Mike Brown.
I said it myself. I like Mike Brown for this team. I just wish, like I said before, I wish they got Mark Jackson. But I get why Mark Jackson was like, nah, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
Mark Jackson wants to play for a winner. He don't want a bum team.
Exactly.
The first chip that Golden State won, that was Mark Jackson. That was Mark Jackson's chip.
Yeah.
I
think they could have won that even if he was still there.
That was Steve Kerr.
Yeah, I get that.
Managing Kevin Durant, That was Steve Kerr. That was ego. He
Yeah,
managed. He managed. He knew how to manage egos.
I give you that.
He learned that from the Sage Master.
The Zen
But
Master.
I love Phil, but I don't know if Phil is the greatest. Honestly, man, I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm out of red. I'm gonna say Pop, man.
Pop's my
Pop is the
best
only
coach.
one that did it with
Pop's
a.
my favorite.
Yeah, I'll say Pop because Pop did it with a bunch of guys that they shouldn't be doing. Oh, they got Andrew Wiggins on this dude. Yep, you can't bully him around, you bum. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm watching. I'm watching Paul Pierce. I'm watching him
Later
here.
now.
All right, I'm out of here.
All right,
I
Jason.
couldn't let that one go. All right, guys, later.
Well, I appreciate y'all for rocking with the kid today. I had a fun stream. I hope y'all had fun. I had fun. We ain't talked to Jason in a while. So, you know what I mean? He was a little long-winded, but we're gonna let him rock. We're gonna let him rock. We'll talk some more next week. Mainly just wanted to get my thoughts on these upcoming playoff games. I'm literally about to turn on the game right now. And Cam, what's good, my boy? Cam, you about to miss the whole stream. You might as well just go ahead and go and hit restart. Start it from the beginning, Cam. Watch the stream while you're watching the game. Appreciate you. But I'll catch y'all next week. I'm out of here. It's all good, man. It's all good, Cam. I'll see you on the next one. 8 p.m. Eastern, Wednesdays. I'm out. Peace.